Hey everyone, how's it going today? What's happening? Hope you're having an awesome day. And today I'm going to talk about 7 different ways that you can reduce anxiety. A lot of people I talk to today, they're dealing with a lot of anxiety, some low-grade depression, or even higher levels of depression, and we're living through crazy times. And while I believe what we're going through is very exciting, it's a great opportunity for growth, there are times that I'm kind of pulling out what little hair I have left. So these are some of the things that I do on a daily basis that just help me maintain my sanity, allow me to just really stay focused on what's important to me in my life so I can be productive and just to have lower levels of this anxiety and the stress from all the crazy things that are happening today in this world. So number one is creating a morning routine. So the way you start your day, that tends to kind of dictate how the rest of your day is going to go. And if you ever wake up, sure you have, I know I have, but when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, lots of times the rest of your day, you can just kind of have a blah day, and it kind of feels like nothing is working in your favor. And when you have a morning routine, you are intentionally putting yourself in a great mood so you can set the pace of your day and go on to have a really good day. So it doesn't really matter what you do in your morning routine, but I will give you a couple guidelines. The first 15, ideally 30 minutes of the day belongs to you, not your email, not social media, not the news, but doing things that are going to put you in a positive state, that are going to help you release any stress if you wake up in a stressed state, and just to really get you feeling your best so you can go on to have a great day. For me personally, I do a gratitude practice that's non-negotiable for me. And the rest of my morning routine, it does kind of change as I discover new things, but it consists of some breath work, of some qigong. This time of year, I'm watching the sunrise during my morning routine. In the wintertime, I'm up like 2 hours before sunrise. So I do watch the sunrise a little bit later, but that's not part of my first thing in the morning routine. So you can do anything. You can do something, you can read something positive, you can meditate, you can do breath work, you can do yoga, you can go for a walk. Anything that's going to put you in a positive state, experiment, and for things that really resonate with you, that really make you feel great, keep those and keep on experimenting and just kind of mixing and matching until you come up with a morning routine that really gets you optimal. I know that there are days when I wake up and sometimes there's a sense of dread. And then I do my morning routine and everything's hunky-dory after that. So create a morning routine. That's number one. Number two is consume mostly positive material. So for example, a lot of people I talk to, I ask kind of questions to just get an understanding of their lifestyle, how they live their life. But a lot of people, I just ask, what's one of the first things you do in the morning? For a lot of people, watch the news, check their email, go on social media. And lots of times when we do that, we're bombarded with negativity. And your subconscious mind hears everything. So you may have some of these things playing in the background, but guess what? Your subconscious mind is recording that. And if at the end of the day you take in a whole bunch of negative information and very little positive information, over time that builds up. And that can program you to think negatively, to have a sky is falling mentality, to get sucked into all this fear porn that we're seeing today. So consume positive material, whether that's a positive YouTube channel, a positive podcast, reading something positive, the music you listen to. You know, some of this music, when you kind of step back and you listen to the lyrics, it's very negative stuff. So I know a lot of people, they like to jam out to music in the gym. If you're listening to hip hop that's just, talking about negative stuff, that can have a negative impact on you. So start to consume better things, whether it's your music, what you read, what you listen to, what you watch. Watch a majority of positive content and material, or read. Number 3, spend time in nature. We all come from nature. We are designed to be in nature. We feel a whole lot better when we're in nature. About 2 weeks ago, a good friend of mine from DC, he rented a lake house by where I live. And we were in corporate America together, and he's still in corporate America. And I would go by his house to visit him, and every day he'd just be sitting out staring into the lake. He's just like, I can't believe how much better I feel. He's like, just sitting here, just looking out on this beautiful lake. So we don't all have the ability to rent a lake house all the time, but most of us have the ability to go for a walk to someplace nice, to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Even when I lived in DC, one of the places I lived was 2 blocks from the zoo, but there was this trail I could take that from my apartment within 2 minutes, I could be completely surrounded by trees, could maybe hear kind of a faint stir of traffic, but overall, I escaped from the city. So find these different places where you can escape from different noises, a place you can hear birds chirping, the rustling of leaves, maybe the slithering of snakes. But spend some time in nature, or the rushing of water, sound of a waterfall, a flowing brook, or a river. But find these different sounds that when you hear them, when you're immersed in them, they put you in a positive state. They really help to relax you. Number 4 is the letting go technique, and this is by Dr. David Hawkins. I've done a separate video on this, and if you look over here, I'll link the video to that, but I'll share it just real quick. So it's 2 steps. The first step, and actually before I share those steps, there's a negative emotion behind every negative thought, and a single negative or trapped emotion can literally cause thousands or hundreds of thousands of negative thoughts. And we can't turn off the negative thought until we identify and release this trapped emotion. So the first step is pay attention to your thoughts. If they're negative, ask, what is the emotion behind this thought? Is it sadness? Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it shame? And once you identify that, just acknowledge. Say, I'm feeling fearful. I'm afraid we're going to get locked down again, or I might lose my job, or I'm going to be forced to, take something in my arm that I don't want to take. So just to acknowledge that fear, and then go within, really feel within your body and feel that negative emotion. So if it's fear, just allow yourself to feel it. It's uncomfortable, but as you do it, you're going to feel that negative emotion. It's just going to evaporate. It's going to get released from your body. So it's very powerful. People ideally should be doing this every single day, because we're all bombarded with a lot of negative emotions today. And the better you can get ahead of it, the better you're going to do. When you kind of just push off these negative emotions or distract yourself through drink or Netflix or social media or something like that, that's just pushing the negative emotion away. But just kind of step back from everything, turn within, feel the negativity, feel the negative emotion, and it's going to release from your body. And it's a great way to really eliminate anxiety, depression, any kind of negativity that you're feeling. Next is I call it the Vagal Release. So in his book, I think it's called The Vagus Nerve, Dr. Richard Rosenblum. I'll put a link below in the description, but I'll show you real quick. So one of the exercises is you interlock your hands like this, put them behind your head, stand up nice and straight, extend your elbows out to either side, and then keeping your head looking straight forward. Feel a little crooked from this camera angle. You're going to start off looking to the right. Just look at your elbow. Just relax and breathe. And it takes, on average, 30 seconds. Might take a little longer. But if you swallow, because your mouth fills up with saliva, sigh, or yawn, I just swallowed. I'm going to turn to the left with my eyes, keeping my head facing straight forward. So both eyes looking at my left elbow now. What that does is this activates your parasympathetic nervous system, puts you in rest and digest. So anytime you're feeling a lot of anxiety, or let's say you have indigestion, this is a good thing to do before you eat because it puts you in that rest and digest. So you're gonna break down your food better, your body's gonna absorb more nutrients, and this, for a lot of people that I've worked with, this has completely eliminated bloating, gas, things like that, because a lot of people today, they're super stressed out, they're eating, and when you do that, you don't have any blood in your digestive system. And when you don't have blood, that affects your motility. When you're in this sympathetic response, your brain controls your digestion. So this helps to activate everything, get everything working great. But do it sometimes if I wake up during the night, I'll do this lying down in my bed. I'll move the pillow out of the way. I'll just do this in bed, lying down in the dark. And this helps me fall back asleep really quick. So experiment with it. Just try it, see how it works for you. Number 6 is sun exposure. So sun actually helps to reduce your cortisol levels. A lot of us today, we're always stressed. We're feeling this anxiety. Lots of times that's high cortisol. Now, the other thing that can cause anxiety or depression can be an imbalance in neurotransmitters. So things like serotonin and dopamine. So when you go out in the sun, that does a couple things. It sets your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm, that controls the release of hormones and neurotransmitters. So when you're inside all day under fake blue light on your computer, energy efficient light bulbs, that throws off your circadian rhythm, which then in turn throws off your hormones and your neurotransmitters. So getting outside, getting that sun exposure, that's going to help to balance your hormones and neurotransmitters. The other thing is when UVA light from the sun goes in your eye, so you want to take off your glasses. If you wear contacts, switch to glasses. But you want that pure, unfiltered sunlight going in your eye. You don't have to stare at the sun. All the frequencies of light will get in your eyes anytime you're outside. But that UVA, when it gets in your eye, that's going to help you make more dopamine, more serotonin, more melatonin, so you get a good night's sleep, and melanin, so you get a nice tan, and you look better. At least I think I look better with the tan, but that's just me. So number 7 are some supplements. I would say focus on these other things first before supplements. A lot of people just want the, what's the magic bullet? Just tell me what to take. And, supplements, they do have a benefit, but doing these other things are going to have more of a benefit. And then the supplements can just kind of increase the benefit from these other things. But these are just a few that I've used. There are many. These are some of the ones that I've used. They personally worked for me. Number 1 is passion flower. So a number of years ago when I was having sleep issues, I was taking a passion flower extract before bed. It activates a lot of the same parts of the brain as benzodiazepines. So I've never been on benzos, things like Xanax or Valium. A lot of people, they'll have really bad anxiety. Their doctor will prescribe it to them. And I've personally talked to a lot of people. The doctor has prescribed it to them, but they haven't given them an exit plan. So this is not advice for how to get off benzos, but people have used passion flower Sorry, phone was ringing. But people have used passion flower to get themselves off benzos. But if you're having trouble sleeping, if anxiety is keeping you up at night, then passion flower is something you may want to try. Now, let me just say this. You're going to want to experiment with a few different of these different herbs. We all have different body chemistries. We all react to these herbs differently. So experiment, find one that works for you, and just go with that. And some of these might take a week or two for the proper levels to build up. Next is ashwagandha. So ashwagandha, it's good to reduce anxiety. It's also good for thyroid. So if you have an underactive thyroid, It can help with that. It's also good for adrenal fatigue. A lot of people today, they're experiencing adrenal fatigue because they're not sleeping well. Their circadian rhythm is out of alignment, and they're burning through their cortisol because they're stressed out all the time, which is causing anxiety, depression, brain fog, all these different things. So ashwagandha, that can be very helpful. Chamomile. So for a while when I wasn't sleeping well, another thing I was using at night was chamomile tea. That can give you some pretty intense dreams, but it's also good to help reduce anxiety. It's an antioxidant. It's good for digestion. So if you have digestive issues, you can also take that. Rhodiola rosea. This is an adaptogenic herb, along with ashwagandha. And adaptogenic herbs, they're kind of like smart herbs, and they figure out what you need. So if you have low energy, it helps to increase your energy. If you have anxiety, it helps to reduce anxiety. Whereas like coffee, if you drink a cup of coffee, that's the target of the reason a lot of people drink coffee is for the caffeine to give them energy, but lots of times that can come with anxiety and kind of edginess. So with adaptogenic herbs, you don't get that. They just kind of figure out what your body is lacking, and they help to kind of restore that balance. But rhodiola, that's good to increase your energy, reduce anxiety. Like I said, it burns fat. There are a number of other benefits as well. And then L-theanine, it's an amino acid. One of the reasons some people prefer green tea over coffee is that green tea has caffeine, but it also has L-theanine. It has a number of other positive benefits too. It has like ECGC. May have gotten that wrong, but that is also that has a number of benefits as well. But L-theanine also very good to help you sleep at night. It's good to reduce anxiety. And like I said, experiment. Start with one of these. Just kind of go through the list and just ask yourself, what does my body need? And try to work with your intuition. Lots of times your body, you'll kind of get a feeling for, oh, okay, passion flower. That's the one that's going to help me the most. But with all of these, maybe you're doing some of these now. Great. Don't add all of them at once if you're not doing any of them. Start with one or two that really resonate with you, and then build from there. Once it becomes a permanent part of your life, whatever you do consistently is going to either really benefit you or really hurt you if you're doing something negative consistently. So I hope this helps, and put these to work so you can reduce your anxiety. And with less anxiety, you're a lot more fun to be around. You're a lot more productive. Life is a whole lot easier. So I do have a course, if you haven't heard about it. It's 2 weeks to double your energy. So there's a link below down in the description. At the end of the video, there will be a link too. But if you want some help increasing your energy, and a lot of these practices are also going to help you reduce anxiety, so you have better focus, better sleep, and check it out. It's free. It's pretty short videos, and people that have done it have been loving it. They're loving the increased energy. So check it out. Thanks for checking out this video, and I will be back again real soon with a new video.